Hello everyone, this is Orlando from A Collector's Dream. And as I'm talking to you right now, I'm putting on some gloves. The reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to handle one of my most rarest pieces. And as far as I know, there's probably maybe, 10 or less of these around that I've seen. So I don't want to touch it with my hands because I don't want to get it all sweaty or even put any fingerprints on it. So the reason I'm pulling this out is, remember this card that was sent to me by Greg at CardArt? And he asked me some questions on some cards that he had that were some, put him in the corner over here, then I'll pull out that were some Goodwin Champions. He had some Goodwin Champion cards that he had, that he'd found, I guess, and they weren't like this. They were a little bit different. So I'm going to show you what he sent me, the pictures, and this video is for you, Greg, just to kind of give you an idea of my thoughts on the cards that you have. So these are the Old Judge Gypsy Queen cards, which really are the Goodwin Champions set. But these cards came in Old Judge and Gypsy Queen cigarettes. That's the cards, the cigarette packs they came in. And he sent me some pictures, which I'm going to show you here. Give me a second over here. And so he sent me some pictures, and this is what he sent me of the cards that he had. So when I looked at some of these cards, for example, this particular card here, there's a few things that look odd to me on this. Of course, it's missing the bottom, and the card looks like it's attached to something or cut from something, hand cut, but it looks like it may have something in the back, and the backs are blank. I'll show you the backs in a little bit, but if you compare that to the one that I have, you can see that it's missing the bottom part there. And it may, well, I don't know the size there, but it looks like it's, the size that I have here. So it looks like it's the same card. It's just missing the bottom. So to me, that card looks like it's been cut from the album. And the other ones that he sent me these are very similar to the other two. Now these I don't have with me right now. I have them in my safe, but those are also missing, see, the bottom part. And a lot of the ones he sent me now are so these I'll show you in a minute. I'll show you the book. The other ones, he's got this one here, for example. Oh, I got a similar one here, but here's this one here. And now this one looks like it may be maybe a fake, a reprint or something, because it does have some kind of border on it, but it's missing the Old Judge Gypsy Queen cigarette part of it. And it looks like it's been attached to something else, see? So that may be a paper. So gotta take a look also at the thickness of those cards and see. He also sent me this one here, and that one looks like it's, see the card, it looks like it may be a thinner card, because these cards are pretty thick, and you can't tell the thickness here, but they're pretty thick, and they're very, very bright and detailed. You see how yours is a little bit washed, so that's why I think they may be fakes, and they added some type of backing on it. And you know, the backs that he sent me are this. So you could take a look at some of how they were probably attached to some type of album. But I think that if I take a good look, one thing to see if they're fakes, and you know, I'm bringing out my loop, and I know Mangini, you know, he hates the loops. What do you know, loops? There's two reasons why I use the loop here. First of all, so you can see the pixels on this thing. And on the originals, they're not even, you know, it's not like the printing of today. These were printed on limestone blocks. So if you can take a good look, see if I can get you a good look at that somehow. Hold on here. See if I can get a good look. No, it's not working here. But what you normally will see are little dots. Little dots. It's very difficult. There you go. You see the little dots? Wait, let me see if I can get it again. There you go. See, you get like little dots. And it's hard to get on the camera, but they're different than the printing process of today. Very different. And the other thing for the loop is you use the black light. So when you see the black light, when you put the black light on, if anything lights up, if anything shines or see shiny with the black light, it's a new ink. It's not the old style ink. It's a fake. So the black light, here's the black on. The black light is here. I'll turn that off again. So with the black light, it will show you it will shine if it's a fake card. So, you know, Greg, maybe you can check it out and see and get a good close look at it, and you can tell if it's real or not real. And I'm going to pull out, while I have the gloves, I'm going to pull out the actual book where I think some of your cards were cut from, and I'll show you. So this book is very, very delicate. It's from 1888. Oh, and I forgot to show you something. And you know, I only do my videos at one take. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the book very gently here. And I'm going to go get the other thing as I show you. But see, the pages here, these books are they're handmade. So all the binding and everything is hand done back in 1888. And they're hand printed all by hand. So each color had to be applied separately. So every time you see a color there, it's a limestone block. You know, this one shows some signs of aging, but it does have, you know, the artwork is like that. It just has a little bit of age, but it's so hard. What happens a lot on these, Greg, is that the binding will crack and break, you know, after so many years. This one's been intact, which is a miracle. So when the binding breaks, the pages start falling apart. And you could find some of these on eBay where they'll just sell you a page from this book because the pages have fallen apart. But if you take a good look at it, they are thick pages. They're pretty thick pages. So they're not as thick as the card, but they are card-like. You know what I mean? They are as thick as a card. But remember, these Goodwin Champion cards are very thick. They're very thick cards, thicker than your normal cards nowadays. I'm going to run and get what I was going to show you. Take a look at this book. I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm back. This is what I was going to show you. This is how you get this book. This is the 1887 Old Judge Return Coupons. I had one time, I had like 4 of these. I sent them all to get graded, and I got a 4 and a 5, and I think a couple of 3s or a 2, I don't remember. But I sold the lower grades. I kept the 4 and the 5. I kept the 4 because the 4 was beautifully centered, better than the 5 actually, in my opinion. So anyway, this is what it was, see? And it says on here that you can get 50 of our certificates and secure Champion album. You could also get a flower album. You could also get a sports and game album. Or you could get the baseball album, which is the round album. And this expires July of 1889. And these were inserted in the packs of Old Judge and Gypsy Queen cigarettes when you would buy them. Here's the back of it. Most of these were redeemed for the players' cabinet photos. So you can see here, receipts of 20 of these will mail you an elegant cabinet photo of any baseball player in club uniform. So most of them were redeemed for those 1887s, 1888s, 1889s cabinet photos, which are pretty rare, but you see them around. So, and then if you held on to these and you collected a few, you could redeem them for the albums. So this is from 1887. This is the 1888 album that it talks about, the Champion album. So you get 50 of these things in your cigarette packs. Old Judge Gypsy Queen, you get the album. So anyway, that's what I wanted to show you. Thanks for being so patient with me here. So as you can see, I show Greg here, this is the inside of it. So the back of the pages have similar things like this. And what happens is they carry over because the printing process on these books, they were, well, you could see with the shine that they were like one color put on top of the other color, on top of the other color, on top of the other color in different plates. So these were hand done. And when the books were put together, after so many years, the image almost transfers to the backs. So when Greg showed me this, see, here's the brother's card. I'm going to show you now. Let me see here. Sorry, this video is taking a long time, but I'm going to be showing you some nice old stuff here. So if you're be patient with me here, I'll show you here. So this is his card that he showed me. Right? That was cut out of this album. You see that? Now let me show you the album. Here's the album. You see how that was cut out of there? That's what I think happened with that. Here's that. And there's the album. So that's what I think happened to that one, and also this one here, the CardArts. Here's the CardArts. So those look like they were cut out of albums and maybe even pasted in another, on a thicker board. So that's my theory on that, Greg. That's what I think happened on some of those. So now that I got the album out, I'm just going to show you the album. And just want to be very delicate with this book because it's just extremely delicate. But look at the colors on this thing. I mean, this was printed in 1888. And this looks like it's rounded, but that's how, it's just so delicate. It was just made that way. And it almost looks like some of this cards were almost 3D in effect. I mean, that's how advanced this type of printing does. And this printing took a long time to make. It wasn't a book that you just made. These books took a long time because they had to be handmade. And you see how it's really hard to even turn the pages on it because it just kind of, they still kind of stick together. So I don't like to mess with it too much. I don't want to break it. Some of the binding is coming off a little bit there. So I don't open it too much, very, very rarely, just to show. I've shown it a couple of times, but I wanted to show it to Greg so he can see that. You see how those cards are like that? That's what I think happens with the ones that you send me. They do have a border there. And I think that's what happened. Either they cut it out of there. See, I'll show you that exact card in a minute here. So that's the billiard players there. And I love how they do the background and the, you see, it's like a card. It's not thin, it's like a card. So here's the tennis guys, right? It's a beautiful scenery with the tennis. So here's the tennis guys. Let's see, here's the guy you sent me here. There he is, right in the middle. And you see how the one you send me, that's that. It looks like it's been cut out of that book. See the Beckman here? See that? So these, if they're not faked, if they're real, they've been cut out of the book. Here's the Dwight that you send me here. There's the Dwight in the book. See, it does have the white border and everything. That's the Dwight from the book. So my opinion is that that your cards were cut from this book. Here's the first football player. And another guy you send me was, let's see, this guy here. No, this guy right here, which is Myers the runner. And you could see, I'm going to show you real quick. You see how the Myers has like a yellow border? See, you see how your Myers has kind of like a yellow border? That's where it came from. So that's the, let me finish showing you the book here real quick. So I think, Greg, I'm pretty sure, or I'm pretty positive that the cards you showed me were cut from this particular book. Here's one of the most beautiful pages in the book, which is the boxers. I don't want to open the book completely. It's the boxers. And these are just, look at the artwork on that. Look at, that's the old ring, the boxing shoes. I used to put, that's the, you know, the sponge on a real sponge from the ocean. And look at Donald Sullivan there. And there's a Dempsey. You see the difference between that Dempsey and the real card. You see the real card, it's the same, but it has the old Judge Gypsy Queen. So that's the difference between the book and the actual cards that were inserted inside the packs. So we'll go ahead and finish showing you these. This is And I know Greg likes, also collects horse racing. So here's the horse racing page, some of the jockeys, and these are beautiful cards. Here's the, you know, how they draw the horse and stuff. There's the McLaughlin card. Here's the McLaughlin card here. Look at the background on that. It's just nice cards. And I'll show you the, here's the Isaac Murphy card. Isaac Murphy is one of the rarest, toughest cards because he's a black jockey and the only black player card in the set there. So sorry about that noise there, guys. So there's that, and let me show you the rest of this book. And this is the Buffalo Bill. Look at that. I love this page because it's got the wrestling. Remember, this set included the first wrestling cards, and there's one of the top wrestlers, Joe Acton. So I think this, and here's Muldoon. Muldoon actually was one of the champions, and he ended up becoming John L. Sullivan's manager. There's the Dioro, there's the World's Strongest Man, and there's the Buffalo Bill. So it's a pretty neat page there. It's got a little bit of everything there. And I showed you the Dioro card. Dioro, it was the champion billiards, champion pool player. So let me get to the end here. This has all 50 cards here in the set. So it's a pretty good sized book here, but it's just really hard to open it. And I don't want to mess with it too much. And as you see, that's why I have my gloves, or I would have put some, you know, sweat on that thing. Okay, so here comes the chess players here. There's a Zuckertort and there's a champion Steinitz. Beautiful how they set up the chess there. Look at that artwork on that. From 1888. And then it's got pedestrians there. Roel, the champion, James Albert, and Pat Fitzgerald. So that's that. And let's see what else we got in this book here. Oh, we got the bicyclists. The bicyclist is cool. Look at the bikes they rode back in the days. Remember, this book was handmade in 1888. Each page was made individually. So they had to make each page, each color on each page was a limestone block. I posted yesterday a sample of that, of a YouTuber that did a beautiful video on that. So anyway, that is the book. So hopefully, Greg, that answers all your questions. And that's the last page of the book, which is the, you know, the logo with the old judge and Gypsy Queen. And of course, the back has the rest of the players. And it's so delicate. You know, you see this one missing a little bit of thing there and on the Keef. But overall, you know, you can't beat it. It's a beautiful book, beautiful cards. See, it's got the American flag there. There's Tim Keefe, Hall of Famer. And King Kelly, the first big star in baseball. So that's the back of the book. And the front's got the beautiful scenery of them playing ball back in the 1890s, 1888 actually, 1880s. And that's this is the Goodwin Champion, so that's the champion's belt. Actually, that's the belt John L. Sullivan has in his card, which I showed earlier. I don't have it with me right now. So anyway, Greg, hope that answers your questions. Looks like your cards were cut out from this Goodwin Champion album because it doesn't have the back. All of them should have this in the back, the checklist in the back. That's what they all should have, that same checklist. This one is a 2 because it's missing some paper. So that's the, so I'll give you another good look at all of these that I just brought out. I brought them out because these are some of the ones he showed me. That's the Jack Dempsey. I've shown the Dioro. I've shown the Isaac Murphy, the winningest jockey ever. They still have the Isaac Murphy Award. This is the McLaughlin because it's a racing, and I know Greg likes the racing guys. That's a beautiful one here. And then I got out the Beekman tennis. You can see the tennis, and that's the actual thing. And of course, last but not least, the coupon. And that's how you were able to secure the Champion album. That's the only way you can get it. It's a like a redemption. It was a redemption back in the day. So you had to redeem it, get enough certificates from the packs, send it in as a redemption, and you would get this book, the 1888. I think it's called the A36 Goodwin Champion's album, the 1888 A36. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. This video was for Greg. I hope that answers all your questions. And if you have any questions, or anybody has any questions on anything, about that I could possibly answer on any of my collection or anything in the 1800s or early 1900s, I don't know it all, but I'm learning, and I'll try to answer your questions the best I can. So I appreciate everyone for watching my videos. Thanks again. This is Orlando from A Collector's Dream. Have an awesome, awesome day, everyone. Please like and subscribe.